Yo, I am SHINJIITSU 369, and this is our hidden potential system video for Android 13, a Dokkan Fest exclusive who recently Extreme Z Awakened for both versions of the game, transforms into Fusion Android 13. In this hidden potential system video, like all of our hidden potential system videos, we're going to talk about and discuss Android 13's full kit, where he gets in and fits in around the game on different teams against all the various content. Then we'll go into the hidden potential system and we'll discuss how much additional attack, critical hit, or evasion should we invest so that Android 13 can perform his best. After that, we'll actually go into a battle and we'll kind of test how many times that can pop off. So this is an interesting character. I certainly would have, I think, given him a little bit more personally, but let's just get into it straight off. It's now target Goku and androids, key +3, HP and attack and defense plus 170%, 170% across the board. His super attack now infinitely stacks defense, causes immense damage, greatly lowers defense, and has a 50% chance to stun the enemy. So that can come through on some content, and of course, Super Battle Road, that infinite stack is good. If you put him in a situation where he's not going to transform, then he'll just stack the whole battle. Now, his passive is interesting, right? So he's definitely way better, and to his baseline kit, I think that they did give him good stuff, but let's just talk about it real quick. So he's attack and defense plus 130%, and you get an additional attack and defense plus 130% when HP is 30% or more. Androids or target Goku category allies, key +3 and attack and defense plus 30%. The support is good. Attacks guaranteed to hit. I don't give a shit. Why is that there? That was already there, but like, I don't care, dude. Like, I would much rather just have guards for the first turn, or I don't know, damage reduction or extra key, extra support, something different. He launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when there's an enemy's name who includes Goku. So that's Legendary Goku event. That's the 8th anniversary battles where Goku is with Vegeta. That is some of this new content where you go against the Saiyans and Goku. So there's a couple, of stages in the game, and of course all the Super Battle Road stages where you're going against super class enemies. There's generally a Goku there. So there is some Goku content in the game to go up against, but let's be honest. The most difficult content in the game is extreme class content, and there are no extreme class Gokus in Goku. I wonder if Goku Black counts, because this says excludes Youth, Captain Ginyu, and Goku Jr. It says etc. I would assume that Goku Black is not included. If he is, that would be clutch, but I doubt it. Now, his absorption condition, where he transforms by the 5th turn, absorbs 14 and 15 when there's another 2 or more android category allies on the team starting from the 5th turn. So you get this guy on the 1st or 3rd turn, he gets the stack. If you're going up against a Goku enemy, he can get up to 3 super attacks in 1 turn to get extra stacking. If not, you can only get 2, 1 normally and 1 out of the hidden potential. And having 2 other android category allies on the team. So, for example, if you ran like LR Cooler's team and you only included 1 cell or 1 android or no androids, you can still run him next to this guy, kind of run a target Goku team, then he won't transform. So you can run him on teams where he's strictly support and won't transform. And I think strictly as support, he's actually not too bad, but he's not really, really great either, right? When it comes to his links, he has Red Ribbon Army, Android Assault, Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. We don't have a standalone Super Android 13 in the game that matters. When that drops, that should be this guy's best linking partner. But for right now, he does share 5 links with like Android 19 and Jiro. And then he shares 5 links with Android 21, the Android 21s that actually have Big Bad Bosses. He's on Movie Bosses, Androids, Transformation Boost, Artificial Life Forms, Target Goku, Power of Absorption, and Fuse Fighter. Now, once you do transform into Fusion 13, right, Super Android 13, he is actually quite good. And I will say the highest defense I've seen him at on the turn he transforms is 1.47 million raw defense. I think that's the highest raw defense stat I've ever seen in this game. Before that, I believe the highest one was Piccolo. He can be like right over 1 million. This guy was at 1.47 million. Now that was next to Android 19 and Jiro and Android 21. Sets off all of his links which is really good. And then he also has that support from Giro and 19, pushing him over the edge, really making that defense look really good. His super attack changed. SS Deadly Hammer, I thought that was the SS Deadly Bomber, but I digress. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage, massively lowers defense, with still the 50% chance of stunning the enemy. This is my first issue. Just give him a 30% defensive raise. Just give it to him. Who cares? Just do it. It's okay. It's not like we have any other really good 13s in the game. It's okay for this guy to be low-key busted. Just bust him. Like, I feel like they just held back on that for no real good reason. Could have greatly raised attack for a turn and raised defense by 30% for 1 turn. That would have been just fine. I mean, come on, man. I mean, his defense can be good, but you really gotta, like, pump him up for that defense to look like that. His passive skill now, target elimination, key +3 and attack and defense plus 130%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 145% when HP is 30% or more. You get an additional attack and defense plus 13% per target Goku or androids category on the team, depending on which category has more members. Now that's good. So if you run an all android team, you're gonna get that full stack. All target Goku team, you're gonna get the full stack. If you have a character that's on androids and not target Goku, or on target Goku and not androids, it's gonna kind of mess up all the boosts you can get, but I still wanna take a look at him in an honest way, right? So we'll be able to do that. Attacks guaranteed to hit and disables enemy's guard. I mean, disabling enemy guard, whatever, attacks guaranteed to hit, whatever. Legendary Goku admin is not nothing. Now, if they somehow like revamped all of the fighting legend events to be really difficult, then this guy could have a reawakening. This guy, even a further more use, if legendary Goku event becomes a lot better, or they drop a new one that's better, or something like that, then this guy will really be valuable to have. He launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack always. That's great. Plus an additional attack plus 50% and a high chance, 50% chance of performing a critical hit when there's a Super Saiyan category enemy. So going up against a Super Saiyan, you get even more attack and a 50% chance to crit. You get an additional attack plus 100% and a guaranteed crit if there is a Goku enemy. Now, that also is frustrating, because how often are you actually going up against a Goku enemy that is that powerful that you could perform 3 attacks in a turn, all guaranteed crit with all this extra attack? I did on stream yesterday use this guy right after the EZA, like right after the Extreme Z battle or whatever. And going up against Goku, he was looking real good. 11 million, 10 million, 11 million, 12 million. He can push those stats out over 1 million defense, start a turn. He doesn't raise defense on super attacks, so like, not as impressive to me. I think he should just have a little bit more defense somewhere, but his defense can look really stupendous. Links are the same, which is interesting. That's cool. It helps the link grind, so you don't have to grind extra links, right? Everything's not really changing. So this guy's good. Now, where to use this guy, right? I think Android 13's best team right now is actually Android 21's team. I didn't pick up Android 21, but AGL Send Him to Hell Cell, he also, let's go to Androids. So this cell right here, he leads Android Cell Saga or Power of Absorption with the extra 30% to androids. So you can run him as a leader with the new Android 21, wherever, I don't have her, so it should be down here, with the new Android 21, right? She's also a great linking partner for him. So that's kind of how you want to get down with that if you're going to run that androids team and then just build out android characters. You can also run him on STR Cooler's team because Cooler is Movie Bosses or Terrifying Conqueror's leader with the additional 30% to transformation boost. This 13 does make the cut, but you have to keep in mind, on that team, he does have 5 links in common with Janemba, the Tech Janemba or the STR or Int Janemba, but the LR Janemba not so much. So we still need another good TUR Janemba to really link up well with him on the Movie Bosses team. But you know, you can't put Cell on that team. There's not really, you can only really put other Android Movie Bosses, which at this point, we need a Fusion Android 13 to pair up next to this guy. That would be great. Even if he dropped on the banner as support, that would be wonderful. That would really make this Fusion Android 13, this transforming unit, like way better, way better. If you're gonna run him on Target Goku, his own team, you're going to be missing out on 30%. Or Artificial Life Forms, Power of Absorption, Fuse Fighter. I don't think there's a 200% that's going to actually give him, like there's a Fuse Fighter leader in Zamasu, but I don't think that extra 30% is going to go to this guy. So I'm saying all this to say that the main teams you want to run him in is androids and movie bosses. Those are going to be your main teams. You can run Transformation Boost and have Cooler floating off, but you also have to keep in mind that if you're going to run this guy on movie bosses, it's likely that you're not going to be able to get the transformation. You would have to find a Terrifying Conqueror or and you know, if we look at it right now, if we look at movie bosses, let's look at where the androids are. We have this 13 and all these shitty 13s. No other androids in sight. This is not an android. No other androids in sight. So that's going to make that difficult to run him on there. You would literally have to put another 13. Oh my gosh, it just would not be looking good. So this definitely needs work, but he's Target Goku, and so many movie bosses are Target Goku. Him being Target Goku support, even if he doesn't transform, you can float him off on the movie boss team. So you could run Cooler on each team, and then, or on each leader, right? STR, LR Cooler. Then you have STR, TR Cooler. This guy right here, run one more support. You got floating support, and this support stacks, right? So that's pretty good. So not a bad character at all. With all that starter turn defense, no normal in the game is going to touch him, and it's going to take a hell of a super attack to really do damage. At 1.47 million, I don't remember what Zamasu's damage is. If it's 2 million, he's still taking what, 500k raw from a super attack from Zamasu, but I don't know if it's 2 million. Y'all have to tell me in the comments what his super attack is, but no normal is going to touch this guy. And he will have good cohesion on the Android team. The Android team heals a lot. It's very easy to stay over that 30%, but I do think that send him to Hell Cell, he needs a lot of help. He's not too fun right now. His defense is just not good enough. The 21 is good enough, so if you were lucky enough to pick up 21 and you have this guy, you can run him in the team. But besides that, those are all my thoughts kind of on this Android 13. Let's jump into how to build out his hidden potential. So we're rocking all evasion and additional, no crit. Reason why, in his base form, his damage is not significant enough that a crit is going to make or break you with him. And honestly, you probably don't even really want to, in that case, you're trying to do as little damage as possible so you can stack in base. So I'm not worried about crit. When it comes to the Super Android form, yes, obviously, if you're not going up against a Saiyan or a Super Saiyan or a Goku, then you're like losing some of that crit chance. But he still performs very well. His attack stats are pretty high, 8.8, 9 million, 10 million, even without going against a Goku or a Super Saiyan. So he's still good, still can get 3 attacks in a turn. Now, because his defense can be so high, around 1.47 million in his Super Android 13 form, I wanted to get some sort of equipment that gave me this right here, which if you see here, this little node with the head right here, what that does is whenever you obtain key spheres, this increases the amount of HP you get back from obtaining same type key spheres. And then I have him with some evasion here. Now what I really wanted was like a 5 evasion here, so he could have like around 18% chance. In a perfect world, I would have 15 additional and 20 evasion, but I would have to get better equipment and figure that out as I go. So hopefully one day I will get better equipment and I'll change that. But for right now, I'm comfortable with this. You want him to be able, he can take normals just fine, but it's those super attacks that might kind of bite you on the more difficult content. But if you put him in the right spot and if he supers before he receives a super attack, then he should be fine. That evasion is just good to have. Power creep is going to come. We're right around the corner from the anniversary. There's going to be more difficult content. This guy, if evasion is still allowed, he's going to really need to evade some of those attacks. Or you think you take this guy in Infusion Zamasu having this evasion, right? He's going to be able to evade, hopefully, some of those AoEs. That's going to help a lot, bro. It's going to help a lot. By the time he transforms, you're not going to be with Zamasu anymore. You're going to be with the physical one. So, your stats are going to be up there. I mean, if you could come out, start a turn 1 million defense, then you're good. You're not worried about no AoE, right? But he is pretty good. I think his AoE does 500k, and he's hovering right around 500k when he has links active in that first form. When he doesn't have links active, he's around in the 400s. but he gets a lot of defense, a lot of stats from his link set. Make sure you get this guy to link level 10 as soon as possible. That way you can take advantage of his full power. But I don't really have a ton to say. What I will say is if you're lucky enough to get him to 69%, which is 2 copies and then 1 dupe fed in here, I would set it up. If you even give him more evasion, I think that's fair. Like if 1 was evasion or 2 evasion, so that would give 6. Then I would put him at 14 additional, you know, and I want him to be over a 30% chance to perform an additional attack that could become a super. That's important to me. So this is how I built it out. That way he can stack. And then up here in the top left, when you get him at 79%, I built him out here, gave him a little more evasion. I even used 5 stones to change some crits to evasion. Before I had crit on him, but evasion is just so valuable right now. So if you have him at 79%, I suggest to build him out like this. If you have him built out for crit and you want to change it, it'll cost you 5 stones. I personally think it's worth it. If 5 stones is what it costs you, now like that evasion could make or break your run. You know, so, you know, over here, I actually could change this to this one. That way he gets even more. I think that I will do that eventually. I'll change this to this when I get a few more stones. Then he'll get even more HP for getting tight key spheres. So let's say you come into the turn, you got 40% HP. You have 5 or 4 blue key spheres, you're gonna heal up like to 80%, dude. Like it's gonna be great. Because his defense start of turn is so high. That is one advantage of having start of turn defense and not getting the defense post super. I just wish, really wish that this character had a 30% defense increase in his super form, or he should be able to get 4 super attacks in base. That way you can really stack that defense up much higher. I haven't yet got 3 attacks on both turns. After that, I think he should be over 1.5 million defense, which kind of makes him pretty much safe for anything in the game. So let me know what y'all think about this. I've been blabbing for a while, but this is a cool unit. I want to talk about how best to use him. We're going to go into an event. I would go into a Goku event, which I've done, but honestly, I just think that that's not really giving you a good representative look on how he looks without all of his extra boosts going against such specific enemies. So we're going to go up against an extreme class character. We're going to go up against Cell, and we're going to see how many times Android 13 can get an additional attack or get an evasion. Thank y'all for checking it out. Hope you enjoy.
Nice try. Time to die. You're finished. Ha! Brace yourself. This place, it's gonna be your grave. Get ready. Time to finish you. Deadly Bomber! Prepare yourself! Finish! Faster! You're struggling. Full charge! SS Deadly Bomber! All who oppose will be terminated. Ha! Prepare yourself! Deadly Bomber! Load up! Now you're finished! Full charge? This is Deadly Bomber! That the extent of your abilities? Time to die! Deadly Bomber!